Gonçalo Sá. Que cruzamento espetacular. Ataca ao Famalicão, Vaclav. Vai para o cruzamento, segundo posto, cabeceamento, golo! Vamos! Vaclav sai que bomba! Estrela da Amadora!
Golo FM. Aqui tratamos todos por igual. Não há grandes nem pequenos. Há futebol.
A primeira rádio do Porto.
E avançamos agora na primeira Rádio de Porto em simultâneo na Rádio Jornal do Centro, na Conferência de Imprensa de Francesco Farioli, o técnico do Futebol Clube do Porto, na Antevisão, esse grande clássico do futebol português, nas contas da primeira mão das meias-finais da Taça de Portugal entre Sporting e Futebol Clube do Porto, partida que está marcada para nas 20h45 desta terça-feira. Vamos ouvir as primeiras questões colocadas a Francesco Farioli.
Os indisponíveis, como é que está o boletim clínico do Futebol Clube do Porto para atacar este clássico e que expectativas tem para o encontro?
Everybody quite okay. Thiago is still in a recovery process, and Borja that arrived yesterday night. So today is the first session with the team, and he's not going to travel with us. So he will have an individual program for a couple of days, waiting for us to be back and to prepare the next game. Sport TV.
Estamos em direto para a Sport TV+. Uma pergunta dividida em duas partes. Primeiro, este é o terceiro jogo com o Sporting na época. Agora de cariz diferente, não é o campeonato, é a taça, é uma eliminatória. Que diferenças espera em relação aos jogos do campeonato?
We go one by one. First of all, I'm totally agree with you. Is being a different competition. Is a very separate thing. So in this part, I think is very clear for all of us that we always like to think the competitions by book by book. So in this case, our focus is absolutely on the Taça. And what I expect, I think, is quite the style of the two teams is quite clear. I think, of course, there are going to be few differences, especially from the last game. Also because after the game that Sporting play against us, they change quite a lot their approach. For the first time ever, they start to press man to man in the two previous games. That I think it was somehow also a good preparation for the game of tomorrow. Because of course, for the team that they are, I cannot expect them to sit in the medium block waiting for us in front of their supporters. So I expect them much more aggressive than what they've been here in Dragao. But yeah, of course we play against one team that is, they are doing a fantastic job since the coach Rui Borges took over in the domestic competition between League and the Taça de Portugal. They had 52 matches and only one lost. Against us, so I think this says a lot about the unbelievable job that they are doing and the quality of the team and the organization that they have.
A esse propósito, olhando para a forma como tem vindo a lançar os jogadores que chegaram em janeiro, é expectável que possam entrar eventualmente, não vou pedir o 11, que já sei que não vai dar e naturalmente faz parte da estratégia, mas é possível esperar-se que haja novidades no 11 ao nível do Fofana, do Mufi? São jogadores que estão nesta altura, na sua ótica, prontos a ir a jogo logo de início?
So for me, here I think, especially in the last couple of matches, I think you saw the importance of the intervention that we had in January, and this one, I think we were very clinical in the decision making. We had Thiago, we had Oscar, we had Seco and Terem, and I think this one, is a absolute and tremendous credit that I give to the club, and first of all, of course, to the president, because I think that the way that we manage the transfer period has been a really positive one, with total alignment, with a clear vision about the present and as well about the future, always keeping in mind the sustainability of the club, so what was in our possibilities, and there we found openness and desire to stretch our possibilities and to do everything possible. We had a player with experience, but as well we had players, young players like Oscar that are performing really well, and that are keep increasing the value of the team. And a few days ago I was reading that we are the team in Portugal that is giving more minutes to the under 21. So I think in this part the short term and the long term vision of the club are going in a very smooth path, and now of course with many games to play, and the competition and the desire to go ahead is the most important part.
RTP.
Francesco Farioli, boa tarde. André Castro Ribeiro em direto para a RTP Notícias. Eu pergunto-lhe, a nível pessoal, a nível dos seus jogadores, Martim Fernandes e Tiago Silva, parece que existem boas notícias para o Porto, estarão já praticamente recuperados. Eu pergunto-lhe se conta com eles para o jogo de amanhã em Lisboa. Obrigado.
As I said in the first to answer to the first question, Martin is going to be back with the team tomorrow. For Thiago, is working individually, but he's going to be back 99% for the game of Benfica.
CMTV.
Boa tarde, Ana Inês Batista, CMTV Now. Se me permite duas perguntas, vou começar primeiro pela primeira, porque a última vez que o Futebol Clube do Porto conseguiu duas vitórias na mesma semana contra o Sporting e o Benfica remonta à época de 2010-2011, em que ainda era André Vilas-Boas o treinador. Falou com o Presidente sobre qual o segredo para este feito, ou entendo, por outro lado, que a obrigatoriedade e a pressão estão do lado do Sporting, ainda existindo uma segunda mão?
No, this week we talked, but we didn't talk about this part. We were more focused about other topics. So no, but I have a few hours to try to ask for some advice now that you mentioned this one that I was not aware of. So I will definitely follow the suggestion. And the second.
Já agora a segunda questão era só para perceber se concorda com o José Mourinho de que existem aqui duas classificações, a virtual e a real, devido às arbitragens.
Where is Porto in the virtual one? Okay, so we are still first, okay? And there is also a trophy for this one? There is a trophy for the virtual? No? No, so then better to try to spend our energies in the other one.
O jogo.
Olá, Francesco. Duas questões, uma mais rápida. Como é que está o Borja agora que regressou deste período complicado?
Yes, so he arrived today, of course. The event and the days that he passed through were not good, really complicated, emotionally, really drained. But he came back with a great spirit. Now it's up to all of us to give him the right support, the love that he deserves every day, but especially in this period. So in this part, I think he's going to work really hard to get ready. He's really motivated and really focused to come back to help the team. He was okay to travel even for today with the team, but I prefer him to give him like a couple of days to decompress, set back, be back at home, and get back to his routine, and to prepare him for the next games, for the next challenges ahead. So to go back to your question, very difficult days, but once again we discover a guy with an incredible attitude and a great desire to help the club.
Este é o primeiro jogo de um mês de março muito complicado, com muitos jogos. Sente que pode ser um mês decisivo e sente a equipa preparada para enfrentar uns desafios tão grandes neste mês?
Yeah, for sure it's going to be a very challenging period. 6 matches with 3 different competitions, so it's going to be really demanding, really challenging, physically and mentally. After, I told you that I like to think really book by book. So what will be really good for all of us, player and staff and everybody and supporters as well, because at the end here we speak about a community, is to go game by game, to be really good in the moment that the game is over, to take maximum an hour to digest all the emotion and to turn page really fast. I think this one could be a very important mindset to approach the next games, because the emotional stability is the most important part, and not there is no result that can let's say drain our mind or put us in a situation of overconfidence, because here now in the period where we are going through, the most important one is to be very clinical in the way that as soon as the game is over, the game is part of the past, and to stay really connected with the present and with the near future.
Record.
Boa tarde, Francesco Farioli, Nuno Barbosa, Jornal Record. Também tenho 2 perguntas, faço uma de cada vez, se não se importar. Quando foi jogar Alvalade para o campeonato, foi muito no início do seu percurso aqui no Futebol Clube do Porto. As equipas não se conheciam tão bem como se conhecem hoje. O que eu lhe pergunto é se o Porto ainda há espaço para o Porto surpreender o Sporting, como surpreendeu no primeiro jogo em Alvalade no campeonato, sendo que no segundo jogo no Dragão as equipas já estavam muito encaixadas, já havia um maior conhecimento uma da outra.
I think we are in a phase where, to be honest, the level of knowledge internally, but as well with our opponents, is start to be quite high. Of course, there are always small modification. The game is always really tactical, and what make the difference usually is the type of approach that the teams decide to take. And this one, I think, also tomorrow will be one of the key. I told you we prepared the game to play against one team that we expect them to be really aggressive, because as I said at the beginning, I don't see and I cannot imagine them waiting us in their half pitch as they did in Dragao. I think is not going to happen. So from our side, we made our mind really clear about the game that we are going to play tomorrow. And as well, I think they know what they should expect from us, because in this part we are very predictable in the way that we go all gas to press against everybody, and will be the same tomorrow. So this is the type of game that I'm expecting. This is the type of game, so an open match with 2 teams that are going to face each other face to face. Of course, with a different moment inside of the same game, because of course when for us by intention we will go after for the quality that they have. Of course, there are moments where we need to defend really well and to be very humble and to defend in our half. But in terms of intention, for us is very clear. The game that we are going to play is very clear. The approach that we want to have in the game of tomorrow. So in this part there is no any doubts. Adaptation for sure. Possible surprises could be related about the characteristics of the player, because also for us and for them, according to who is going to play, there is always like a small, let's say, different taste or different dynamics and relationship on the pitch. But I expect one game between 2 brave teams.
E tendo em conta também para nos explicar um bocado como é que está a equipa fisicamente, sendo que depois de Alvalade é a deslocação à Luz para o campeonato, e logo a seguir Liga Europa na Alemanha, há espaço para fazer gestão neste jogo com o Sporting, visto que é a primeira mão de 2 eliminatórias?
How we are physically, very, very good. To be fair, I think we are in the best moment, and physically the best moment is already from long time. A few days ago I was sharing with the players, like the 37 matches that we played. In 37 matches we outrun all the opponent always. Last game against Aroca at home was the biggest game in terms of volume. Rio Ave a few days before was the biggest game, one of the biggest game in terms of high intensity. So from the physical point of view, I have absolutely no fear that we are going to be ready to go there and to play our game, to challenge them ball after ball all over the pitch, and if it's necessary outside of the pitch. So in this part, I think we are in a really good moment, and the players that are going to start tomorrow and the ones that are going to enter are absolutely fit and absolutely capable to deliver a top physical performance. After this one is enough to win the game? No, but for sure is a very important conditions to get closer to the performance that we want to do.
0-0.
Boa tarde, Francesco. Renato Soares, do 00. Quero perguntar-lhe sobre um tema que tem sido discutido um bocadinho no seio dos adeptos do Futebol Clube do Porto, que é o tema das substituições por volta do minuto 60, entre os 55 e os 65. Nós fizemos um levantamento em 28 dos 37 jogos, isto aconteceu, 75% dos encontros. Não vou tanto pela parte da gestão, mas mais pela parte, ou melhor, na minha opinião, da minha leitura, em alguns dos jogos acaba mesmo por tirar alguns jogadores que até estavam bem. Por exemplo, o Piatoszewski, frente ao Nacional, sai com o jogo em 0-0. O Gabri Veiga também estava bem frente ao Rio Ave, acaba por sair aos 65 com o jogo também 1-0 só. Queria perguntar-lhe qual é a linha de pensamento de Farioli entre esta obrigatoriedade de cumprir o plano que o Farioli e a sua equipa técnica têm e a capacidade de se adaptar face àquilo que o jogo está a pedir.
Yeah, no, in this part, I think, let's say, we always go, or I like to prepare, and if you go back into the past, in this one I'm quite analytical in the way to prepare myself. This one doesn't mean that it's always going to be like this, but the majority of the time there is, if you want to arrive to a point where you can deliver this type of, for example, physical performance, it's not just the physical part, is as well the mental part, the energies, and I believe a lot in the strength of the squad. In this part, I already said before, and I said in previous interviews, I'm really lucky to train a group of 25 players that are in a really good level. The type of effort that we are asking to the players, especially up front, is a massive one, if you want to keep a certain rhythm and a certain intensity. And I think if today we are where we are, in the condition where we are, and with the energy that we have, is because the player they connect with the plan that we are following in the short term, but as well in the longer term. So they are aware about my way of thinking, about the fact that everybody is going to play a key role from now till the end of the season. So in this part, I'm also quite grateful to have in a lot of position many players that one or the other doesn't really matter who is going to play, and I like them to think, that in between the two they can somehow find a way to overperform. We have a very good example in Gabriel and Rodrigo. But if you take Alan and Pablo, is the same. So this one for me is something quite unique. And going back to the example of Oscar, is a 2008 that is adapting to different demands. So I think it's very important to keep everybody with a really good level. And if I keep them out or take them out at minute 60, it doesn't mean that they don't have the energy to finish, but for sure, and you saw the impact of William when he entered on the pitch has been a massive one. So this is what I believe. As I told you, I'm very conscious and careful, and I try and we try to prepare really well the long-term planification. But after, inside of course, the game, sometimes we have to change for how the game goes, or a problem or a substitution that is unexpected, but I definitely like to go to the pitch with a map about 3, 4, 5 different scenarios, and usually it always happens the sixth one, but at least to be ready in this one.
A bola.
Olá, Francisco. Eu gostaria de saber se, na sua ótica, e depois do jogo com o Arouca, entende que há o porquê dos rivais terem criado tanta polémica no penalti sobre o Fofana. Se acha que há necessidade de haver tanta polémica?
No, about the penalty, I think there is no doubt about the fact that it was penalty. The images from the good image from the replay is clear. Fofana is shooting and there is a clear touch, and the referee is 2-3 meters far away. So he listened the sound of the 2 foots. So I think there is no discussion after. It's normal that we are in a week where to prepare in advance possible scenarios is really good. Sometimes in this moment, Porto, we are very good in something that we bring people from the other side together. In this case, the mix of green and red goes together. Which color is the mix of green and red? Can you help me?
Maybe orange.
So that's how it is. So there is no polemic. There is, I think, this part of the game is quite well known. So we are inside of this one. We accept it. We listen. If we should speak about all the things that happened this season, we could make a conference. So we stay out from this one. But again, about the penalty of the last night, I didn't see after the game when I went to the press conference, but with a bit more time, I had the opportunity to see. And honestly, in the second image, there is nothing to discuss.
Última pergunta, TSF.
Olá, Francesco, Miguel Taveira para a TSF. Se há coisa que a sua equipa tem sido identificada como é uma equipa pragmática durante os jogos desta época, tratando-se de um jogo de primeira mão das meias-finais da Taça de Portugal, fora de casa, tendo a oportunidade de jogar ainda a segunda mão depois no Estádio do Dragão e ainda para mais com um clássico frente ao Benfica tão importante do campeonato dentro de 5 dias, é expectável que o Futebol Clube do Porto seja adicionalmente pragmático nesta partida em Alvalade, principalmente se o jogo não estiver a ir do encontro àquilo que a equipa quiser?
Can you define pragmatism for you?
Claro, estou a falar de procurar quase sempre ficar com o resultado, não arriscar em demasia, por vezes nos últimos minutos, para conseguir segurar aquilo que já está na mão.
For me, pragmatic is I would say speculative. My translation and speculative is to me it means to me go on the pitch with a very clear plan. That is, we stay here, we wait, and we see what is happening. In this part, I think if you take all of our game at home, away, league, Europa League, and Taça de Liga and Taça de Portugal, you saw one team that in every moment decide to challenge any type of opponent, all the time. This one, with teams that on paper are more offensive, or that you guys describe as more offensive, didn't happen. Again, we have example from big teams that came to Dragao, and for me they were very pragmatic and very speculative, because intentionally they decided not to come to press, they decided to defend, removing the space in the back, and for me this is pragmatism. After, if you overturn the fact that we are the best defense in Europe, the best defense in Portugal, this is another part. That it means to defend well, and as I say, to defend well is, in our style, is to press very high, and tomorrow will be another game, as I told you, and I can tell you now, we are going there to press all over the pitch. And after, when you play against one team like Sporting that is very good and very capable to force you to defend a few meters lower, then you need to be as well very good to have the right tools, the right attitude, the right humbleness and the right mentality to challenge and to defend in a different part of the pitch. But as a desire, our game are always the same. Step forward and full gas with everybody. some other teams that are, in your opinion, more offensive because they score a few goals more. After, in some other games, they are much more, in my opinion, speculative and much more pragmatic because they change a lot the approach according to who they face. So they are strong against the team that they feel weaker, but when they face a team that is more or less the same, they go for a different approach because this is for them the best strategy for the game. In this part, we are very predictable because we are always the same. Our identity is very clear. Doesn't matter who is going to be our opponent. After, of course, there are games where we are able to recover the ball 28 and 29 times in the opposite half, and other games where you find teams that are better and that sometimes you recover a certain amount of balls in the opposite half, and sometimes you are forced to go lower. But in this part, and if you take, because we are speaking about virtual table, if you take all the statistics defensively about the aggressiveness, we are the best team in terms of intensity of pressure, the best teams in terms of pressing reaction, we are the best team in terms of PPDA. So all the parameters are telling us things that are not that is very difficult to put these statistics close to a team that is pragmatic.
Obrigado, até amanhã.
Obrigado.
E está assim concluída na conferência de imprensa de Francesco Farioli, o técnico do Futebol Clube do Porto, antever esse embate entre o Sporting e o Futebol Clube do Porto, primeira mão das meias-finais da Taça de Portugal, uma partida para não perder e para acompanhar com relato, quer na Gol FM, quer também na Rádio Jornal do Centro, esta terça-feira pelas 20h45.
Golo FM, a primeira rádio de desporto.
A invencibilidade de algumas equipas em ligas nacionais ou europeias permanece como uma marca histórica